If it works, I'm just gonna leave the call. I'm gonna check. Oh.
Good morning, everyone. Morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning or good day, depending on where you're from. Very excited to get back on here with you all. How's everybody doing so far this week? Morning, good morning, good morning. What's up, everyone? Welcome back. How's everybody's week going so far? Morning or good day. Just going to give a moment for everybody to join. Sorry for being a couple minutes late there. Trying to figure out how to use multi-streaming. It looks like I'm capable of going live on Twitter at the same exact time that I'm live on YouTube. But by streaming out well, I had to restart there, and now we got the live going on. So here we are. Good morning. Welcome back. How's everybody doing today? Morning, good morning, good morning. Hope everybody's day is going well. Week is going well. We have a lot to talk about, chat. We have a lot to talk about. A lot has happened over the past 6 months. I know I haven't been live here on my YouTube, but that is for some great reasons. I'm going to update everybody. I know a lot of you have been in the Discord or have been on any of my other live streams, but for the people that are only on YouTube, who haven't seen any of the live streams for the past 6 months, who's only been following along with the shorts or the videos that I've been posting, I am going to start live streaming on YouTube again. So, be the first of many. Very happy to be back. Ready to crush 2026. 2025 went very well. I'm going to go over that here shortly. I want to take a moment to welcome everybody in. Say hi to the community. And we'll get into some of the information here. Morning. Morning. Fix the mic. Is there an audio issue? Give me a thumbs up if the mic sounds okay. Give me a thumbs down if the mic sounds bad. Just the volume's too loud or echo there. Anything wrong with the mic, please let me know. Give me a thumbs up if the mic is okay. Give me a thumbs down if the mic is not okay. Okay. Good then. All right. Thumbs up then thumbs down. So that makes me oh, maybe I'm sitting too far away from it. Cutting out. Okay. Thank you. Let's try that one. Get it a little bit closer, and I'll stop screaming at you guys since it's closer now. Maybe this one will be a little bit okay. Yeah, how is everybody doing? I'm so excited to be back on here with you all. I just couldn't get enough of you. So my Funded Future streams is not enough. The Discord streams is not enough. Here we are. See who we have here today, and then we'll get into some of the information. Roxy, good morning. Dude, where's my stop loss? How are you doing today? Island Dreams, good morning. Aesthetic Videos, good morning. Desmond, how are you doing today? Cash, good morning. HMH, good morning. Chip Smith, morning. Dara Trading, good morning. Perna, good morning. Weapon, good morning. Queen of Trades, how are you doing today? Honest Trades, good morning. Maya, good morning. Emily, good morning. Marvelous, good morning. Rum, good morning. The Fish, good morning. How's everybody doing today? Victor, good morning. Mock, good morning. Jay Can, good morning. Horn, good morning. Sandeep, good morning. Will I be streaming for 2026? Absolutely. So we're looking at doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday on the YouTube, right here on my page, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then we're looking at doing 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on the My Funded TV. Additionally, the premium group gets Tuesdays and Thursdays at New York Open. So that's going to be the schedule for 2026. We got our YouTube page up and going again. So very excited to be here, ready to lock in for 2026. Bust a Move, how are you doing today? Arnold, how are you doing today? Tris, how are you doing today? Micah, how are you doing today? The mic cutting out must be because I'm not like looking into it, that I'm like too far away or something. It's got to be it. Tyler, how are you doing today? Hope your week is going well. Mo, good morning. Martin, good morning. Trading with Guy, good morning. Crazy Tone, how are you doing today? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Solomon, good morning. Hope everybody's week is going well. Hope everybody's day is going well. See how everybody's doing too. Throw a 1 in the chat if you're green on the week. Throw a 2 in the chat if you're red on the week. Throw a 3 in the chat if you've yet to trade this week. Tad, good morning. Hope your week is going well. Couple 1s, couple 3s. Okay. Okay. Couple more 3s. All right. Okay, okay, okay. Alrighty. Got my first payout in 3 years. Let's go. Let's throw a bunch of W's in chat for Sandeep. That is massive. Congratulations on that payout. All of that time, all that hard work is literally paying off now. Let's go. Congratulations. Let's go. So I am going to go through my biases here. I'm going to start the day with some analysis on the charts. While we're waiting and watching price, we'll have a few different conversations, updates on what's happened, updates on what's going to happen, where we're at now, what we're doing, what's the goal. We're going to hop into a lot of different conversations. I plan on spending a lot of time with you all here. So we have all of 2026 to get through this information. But for any individuals that are looking to work and learn every single week, this is where I'm going to be. I am just relentless when it comes to the charts. I show up every single morning, You'll see it throughout the week. If you haven't been with me over the years, a lot of people would probably attest to that. I've been working in New York Open for, man, it's been like 7 years now. So there's been people that have been with me for years. There's been people that have been with me for months. There's been people that have been with me for weeks. There's a lot of different timelines. But let's start the day with developing some biases for the morning. That way we can be prepared and understand what we're looking at here while I'm having these conversations. That way everybody could understand what I'm talking about when I point to it. So let's actually finish on NQ or ES, because I focus on trading NQ and ES during New York Open. So we're going to be watching them for the entire day. So let's go through the other assets that we need to cover quickly before doing that. So first things first, we had a bullish bias here on Euro, and this is why. You can see here the Monday daily candle closed above what at the time was a bearish FEG. The moment Monday's daily candle closed above the bearish FEG, creating an inversion, that's why you see this here. We then looked for that area to be turned into support for higher prices. Very simple stuff. We just look at swing highs, swing lows, and FEGs on the daily chart to obtain a bias. And in this case, a bearish FEG was resistance. Resistance got broken. We retested it to act as an area of support. Then we went higher. So the bullish bias on Euro played out beautifully this week. And there's still more to take here. Look at all this low resistance liquidity. None of these highs are being swept out until now. So moving forward for today, I'm going to look to see if this area of price can remain as an imbalance, right? It's not an FEG yet because today's daily candle has not closed yet. That's what I'm looking for. What happens during today's daily candle? Will they leave this FEG open to confirm it, right? It'll be confirmed when today's daily candle close, but during today, if I want to be real bullish, I would want to see them leave this open and then reach for previous day high. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at for Euro. Right? Is this a bullish FEG? Yes or no? This would be the target if we're going to remain bullish. So it's a very clear invalidation there as well. If we see price go to current day low and continue lower, then I'll be patient, because what I'm really looking for today here on Euro is a move to previous day high. So let me just go ahead. I do need to take screenshots as well, because all the individuals that are in the Discord and not here on the live stream also need to get this information. Bear with me. A little bit of patience as I take this shot, send it over to Discord, and let's write it in. Okay. Bias coming from the daily chart. Are you guys able to hear my keyboard? Let me know if you can hear my keyboard when I'm typing. Bias on the daily chart. Looking to see if we can confirm this bullish FEG. If we can, I will be looking at previous day high as the target. Okay. Now we've completed Euro for the day. This is what we'll be looking at on Euro. Hop over to the dollar. Hop over to the dollar. And the dollar should have the same information as the euro because it's inversely correlated to the euro, right? So just hear me clearly. I said inversely correlated. So it should have the inverse information to euro, right? So we were looking to see if the bullish FVG was going to be created on euro. Just like we'll look to see if the bearish FVG can be created on the dollar. So I don't really need to go through that information again. It is the same thing as euro, just inverse to euro. All right, we'll look to see if that bearish FVG can be confirmed. If it can, I'll look to see if previous day low can be the target. All right, so let me take a screenshot of this. Well, right. Getting that Discord. Look, and there we go. All right. Yep. Ah, yes. Daily chart. Looking to see if they can confirm the bearish FEG. If they can, then I will look at previous day low as the target. Okay, let's go and send that message. Send. All right, now we have euro and the dollar. So bullish on euro, bearish on the dollar. Get over to oil. Oil invalidated my bias. Okay, so I already had a bias here on oil, and you can see it clearly. Price had swept a swing high. After sweeping that swing high, we formed a swing high and closed back inside the range. When that occurred, I was then looking for an external to internal move. Okay? We didn't get that. So this bias is incorrect, and that's okay. You're never going to get the bias correct 100% of the time, but your ability to control your actions is what's going to greatly change your results. So what I'm trying to ask you is, when you get something wrong, do you tend to blow accounts? Or when you get something wrong, do you still survive to see the next day? That's a huge deal here. That's a huge deal here. Because if you're the individual that's blowing accounts because you've gotten something wrong, then you're not managing your risk. And risk management is the #1 priority at all times. You need to figure out how to become the most efficient loser. And you do that by setting limits upon yourself. Right? Certain amount of trades that you're allowed to take within one day. Certain amount of money that you're allowed to risk on any given trade. Those are the limits that are going to keep you in this game for the long term. The thing that's not going to keep you in the game for the long term is your emotions, your actions, and your thoughts. If those three things are not stable, right? If they're impulsive, if they drive your decision making, you're going to fall into some sort of tilt, and that tilt is going to be the thing that blows the account. So you have to have a very strong mental and emotional intelligence to make sure that you're carrying out your risk management. So let's go ahead and update with this one as well. And You can see it here. I truthfully couldn't care less that I got the information wrong because I've survived another day. It's not a matter of being right or wrong. It's a matter of making money or losing money, right? So if you're wrong and you don't lose money, in my opinion, that's a positive outcome, right? It's not a matter of being wrong. It doesn't matter that you were wrong if you didn't lose money. It's a matter of making money or losing money. But we got to document this too, because we need to know when we are right and when we are wrong. So let me documenting this in Discord as well. Bias was incorrect. I wanted a external to internal move. That did not happen. Okay. Very good. Best loser wins. Telling you. You can become the most efficient loser. That's where you're going to start making progress. All right. We'll get over to this conversation here, but now you can see that the order template is up and active. That's because in my live account, I'm not paying for New York MEX, right? I'm not paying for commodities. I'm not paying for currencies. I focus on trading NQ and ES. So when it comes to CME data subscriptions, when it comes to commodity data subscriptions, I'm not going to waste the money on the commodities because I'm only focusing on ES and NQ. The live account's a different conversation. We'll hold off on that for another time. Let's just make sure we get through the biases for now, and then we'll get into that. Okay, so ES is clear as day, in my opinion. Now, two things to say about this. Notice how you move from the Friday's daily candle to the Tuesday's daily candle. That's because Monday was a bank holiday. So Monday and Tuesday are baked into this one candle here. Due to the early closure on the bank holiday, this is all one candle. Okay? During the open of this week, we saw a huge gap down. Right? So there's some clear intent here. Right? The bears opening this much lower during the new week open. Clearly, the bears are trying to step in. Additionally, this occurs at an area of a change in the state of delivery. Right, for anybody that understands change in the state of delivery, this would be a change in the state of delivery on the daily time frame. Why is that? Right, a change in the state of delivery. We're looking at an area of liquidity first, right? So this new all-time high was swept out during this leg up here, right? So when you're analyzing a change in the state of delivery, you want your change in the state of delivery to take out liquidity. So notice how I'm using these set of candles right here and not these. Because the set of candles for your change in the state of delivery needs to take out a form of liquidity. So the opening price of this candle here is the change in the state of delivery. And notice what they use to confirm it. A new week opening gap. So there's some very clear intent here. The bears creating this gap shows the momentum and the area in which they created it at the change in the state of delivery. So for that reason, I was looking for this gap here to act as resistance for lower prices. And it sure did. Just going to hop down to a lower time frame so you can see it real quick. Right? As soon as we gapped lower, we changed the trend. We only made lower lows and lower highs. Lower low, lower high. Lower low, lower high. So clearly the highs were acting as resistance. clearly we were getting rejected from this area. Ever since then, we have not changed this trend here, the downtrend. So in my opinion, the higher time frame order flow is quite clear here. We are moving lower. Okay. The next target that I would look at is here. Right? In terms of targets, swing highs, swing lows, or FVGs. Notice how there's no FVGs in this area. So I'm not targeting an FVG. But if you want to look at the FVG, right? Here's an FVG here. Notice the difference. Notice what support looks like versus getting invalidated. See the difference there? We get a candle closure below with displacement versus a buyer's wick showing support. There's a very clear difference there. So I'll be looking for continuation lower to the next target. Get my screenshot for the Discord. Right. Place this over here. All right, bias comes from the daily chart. I am looking for continuation of the bearish bias to our second target. Okay. And so NQ is the correlated pair to ES, so it should be moving the same at the same time. Additionally, there's a very clear SMT here. Okay? This is what gave it away. This is what gave it away. Take a look. Zoom out a bit here. Look at all-time highs on NQ. Nowhere close. NQ's nowhere close. ES was able to take out new all-time highs. NQ was clearly not able to take out all-time highs. That's a Kraken correlation. That is bearish SMT. That is the market showing the weakness. Okay, so NQ has the same bias as ES. And if there was a pair that would lead the downside, I would think it's going to be NQ because of the bearish SMT. So bias remains the same here. Still bearish on NQ. Looking for a move lower to that swing low. Go ahead and take a screenshot of that. And now we have all of our assets up to date. Bias daily chart. Bias remains the same. Looking for a move lower to the target. Amazing. So now we got our biases for the day. Now that we understand what we're looking at, before I move the conversation into the next portion, throw any questions or comments into chat. If there's any question that you have about any of those biases, let's go over it real quick, and then we'll move on to the next portion of the segment. All right, let's take a look. Maybe we'll see a bear market for this year. I don't look to tell the future. I look to show up and create a game plan for the day. I remain objective to the information. I really wish I had a crystal ball If I did, I'd probably be very rich, but that's not the case. I don't have a crystal ball, so I cannot tell what's going to happen, for the year. But I will be showing up each day to objectively analyze price. For now, I'm looking for a move lower. What happens at this swing low is yet to be determined, right? If we get a huge reversal candle here, that's something that would make me say external back to internal. Right? It could change right here at this swing low. We don't know yet, though, because we haven't gotten that information yet. Trump is speaking now. If there's any Trump news, please do me a favor and throw it into chat. Help the community out. Let everybody else know. We need to stay on top of Trump. Plain and simple. We've seen how this man moves the market with his statements, with his decisions. We saw the whole thing with tariffs. We saw the whole trade war with China. When this man speaks, we need to know about it because it's going to make price do something, without a doubt. Okay? So please do me a favor. If there's any breaking news, please throw it into chat so that the community could know about it. Yo, Ash, how are you doing? I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Welcome back to another live stream. How are you doing today? How's 2026 treating you so far? Great to see you again. I hope all is well. Welcome back. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm very excited to be back on here with everybody. So I guess that's a good little segue into some of the conversations that I was looking to have. So there was about a 6-month break there. I was doing live streams on my own YouTube every single week. I stopped doing live streams on my YouTube every single week because my funded futures got me to live stream on their channel. So my funded futures pointed out my performance. Very simply put, you take an evaluation. After you pass the evaluation, you get moved into a sim-funded account. In the sim-funded account, if you reach a certain amount of payouts, then you get moved to a live account. In the live account, if your performance warrants another move, then you're going to start dealing with Blue Row Capital. This is a proprietary trading firm where they give you benefits such as increases in capital, risk management teams, there's mentorship, there's the whole nine. So there's levels to it. Essentially, since they saw my performance, they wanted me to get up on stage and start talking about my trading in front of their community, in which I did so. So for the past 6 months, I had been live streaming on the My Funded TV channel. I'm going to continue to keep doing that. As I mentioned, so for example, for today, we'll wrap up the stream around 10 a.m. That way I can have at least like 30 minutes before the next stream. Definitely going to need to get, breakfast going, get a little more energy in me for that second stream. So we'll make sure to wrap this up around 10 o'clock. But that's the short and sweet story. We never stopped trading. We continue to keep showing up every single day. We just changed up some locations because of the performance that was happening. We did a phenomenal job in the live account, so much so that they promoted me again. So all is well. Nothing has changed. We're still trading the same models, the same New York Open. I just spent time on their YouTube channel and in my Discord. So I wanted to get back on here in 2026 and get back to where I started. Before taking a sell, would you want new week opening gap to be taken? No. Nope. If we go back up here today, clearly we're going to have a very bullish move. Right? Like this is, how many points is that? We're at basically 25,000. So 2550. From 2550 to 25.5, that's a 500 point move. That sounds like a very bullish move on the day. So no, I do not want price to go up here. My bias right now is bearish, and I want price to go down here. okay? To take a sell, what would I do? Now that I have a bearish bias, I would go down to a hourly chart or a 15-minute chart, some kind of intermediate time frame, right? Your higher time frame is the daily chart. Your medium time frame is the hourly or the 15. Lower time frame is your 5 or your 1. On those intermediate time frames, I would be looking at key levels such as fair value gaps or swing highs or swing lows. At these areas, I would be looking for SMT. So we retested this hourly gap here, but both NQ and ES took out the previous hourly candle into the hourly FVG. So there is no SMT. We do have a key level being the FVG, but at the FVG, there was no SMT. So for that reason, I'm going to remain patient for this moment. The things that I need is a higher time frame key level and SMT that align with my bias. Then I would go down to a lower time frame to look for an entry function. So that's how I'll be operating today. I do not need price to go to the new week opening gap to take a short. What I do need price to do is during New York Open, test a key level. At that key level, look for SMT. If those two things happen, then I would go down to a lower time frame to look for an entry. That is the process. Would you be more inclined to sell NQ over ES since it didn't take out the highs? That is correct. Very good job. Yes. The daily chart is showing bearish SMT for NQ. ES was capable of taking all-time highs. Pop back out here real quick. ES was capable of taking out all-time highs here. NQ was not capable of doing that. That is bearish SMT. This shows that NQ would be the weaker pair. For that reason, I want to short the weaker pair, just like I want to long the stronger pair. The way that I understand which one is weaker or stronger is SMT. Very good job. Yes, I would like to see that on NQ. Right? The only thing that would change that is if we saw some other form of SMT somewhere during the session. So SMT is the overall key here in understanding which one to short. Very good question. What's your protocol with all-time highs for gold? The trend is your friend until the end of the trend. Okay? Don't be the individual trying to pick the top. You're going to get ran over time and time again. Right? And you can, I must have said that exact statement to the last person that asked me this question, because look at the arrow that was left on the chart. Right? Don't try to act like you're the smartest person in the room. Picking the top, right? Like if you tried shorting here, we went higher. If you tried shorting here, oh, right? Anytime it made a new all-time high, it kept going higher is what I'm trying to say. I would rather stay aligned with the higher time frame order flow. That's the position I would like to look for. Right? So, no, I don't want to long from current day high, but I do want to long, is what I'm saying, right? I would rather stay aligned with the trend. The trend is up right now. But to get long, right, I would like to see a retracement into a higher time frame key level, change in the state of delivery, entry, new highs. I don't know why the arrow's on this side. Let's just get rid of that. I don't want to long at the high of day. I would want a retracement into a key level, find some SMT, find a change in the state of delivery, then get long to new high of day. Not looking to go against the trend. Very good question, though. Can you get rid of the trading panel? I'm going to keep this here I need to get in a trade if a trade presents itself. This is my order template. So if a trade comes across the desk, I need to be ready to take it. So I am going to keep that there. Congrats for your evolution, Ash. Thank you very much. It has been quite the ride. I must say, for all the individuals that are struggling or not seeing the results that they want to, hear me clearly. You need to fail forward. In this business, losing is inevitable. So you have to be able to learn from both your winners and your losers. You're going to have losses. It's plain and simple. So the individuals that are capable of efficiently reacting to their losses, right? Efficiently reacting to a loss would be learning from it, documenting it so you can review it again at another time, and not tilting emotionally or mentally. Those individuals are going to survive another day. Okay, so if you're not getting the results that you're looking for, be patient with yourself, because all it takes is one good run to make up all of that time. That's where I'm going with this statement. All of the time that it's taken me to get to the stage that I'm at now has been paid for 10 times over, right? Like, it took me about 4 years to even become consistently profitable. Okay, so just to even give you guys a timeline, right? A lot of people would probably quit within that 4 years because they're not getting the results that they're looking for. Well, what has happened after that 4 years? 2 years of withdrawals, minimally one time a month, every single month for 2 years in a row. So year 5 and year 6 has been astonishing. It has been amazing. It's been everything that I dreamed about and more. But during those 4 years, if I quit during all of those failures, I would have never seen this, right? Because you would have been done. You would have quit and you would have never came back. So it does take a special kind of human being to be able to get up and try again and give it your entire focus every single day, even when you're not seeing the results that you want to see. But what I'm trying to say is on the other side of that fence is the goals that you're looking for. So if you can withstand that delayed gratification, if you can control your actions and your emotions to get to that point in time, it's well worth it. The amount that has come through those withdrawals every single month for the past 2 years has done 10 times more than the losses throughout the first 4 years. That's why it's so beneficial. So, what I'm trying to say is, it doesn't matter if it takes you 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, 1 decade. There is no timeline. There is no right or wrong, because we're our own individual. You are unique to yourself. So to compare yourself to anybody else doesn't make sense. You're not on the same timeline as me. I'm not on the same timeline as you. Okay, you have your own abilities, you have your own character, you have your own traits, you have your own time. Okay? But what I'm saying is if you can make it to the other side, it is beyond worth it. Okay, so I would do it again, time and time again. I would go through those 4 years of failures if that meant I could get to this position again. So all I'm trying to say here is keep working, keep learning, be objective to your results, fall in love with the process, allow the results to be a byproduct. That's how you withstand that amount of time. And when you get to the goal, your actions still need to be aligned with working every single day, learning every single day, controlling your actions, implementing your risk management. Everything still everything still remains the same. Nothing changes even when you get to that point. And that's the purpose here, is fall in love with the process, allow the results to be a byproduct. If you can do that, I think you'll be able to get to your goals too. It was a great interview yesterday. Ooh, man. Did you guys see me shaking? Did it look like I was sweating? That was my first time talking to a market maker. And I'll just be completely transparent. I was nervous. Like I was shaking in my boots. That was quite an awesome experience. I got to speak with Charlie Jacobson. He was a market maker for 20 years before his current endeavors. His current endeavors is he's the president of a proprietary trading firm. So the live traders, so you go through the evaluation phase at My Funded Futures. You pass the evaluation and you go into a sim funded account. Once you've received enough payouts from the sim funded account, they move you into a live account. That live account is going to be sent to Blue Row Capital. Blue Row Capital is an affiliated proprietary trading firm to My Funded Future. Blue Row Capital gives you a lot of incentives like capital increases, risk management teams, mentorship. Getting to talk to a 20-year market maker, yeah, that's who I'd want to be learning from. So it was amazing to be able to talk to somebody that has been in this business for 20 years at that level. Hopefully I did all right. I was nervous. It is what it is. Maybe if I do it more often, I'll be less nervous, but I was quite clammy. Felt like I couldn't really focus on the camera, like talk into the camera versus, being shy, I guess. I don't know. I was nervous, but I tried my best. Hopefully the interview went well. We'll see if we do more of those. I was just astonished that they even asked me to do. How are you? I'm doing great, Punisher. How are you doing today? I'm very excited to get back on here with you all. 2026, we are going to crush it. We got 9 a.m. coming up here, so New York Open will be here shortly. We got some more time for questions and comments. Any type of question now. It doesn't matter what you want to talk about. Here's my bias for the day, so we can leave it here for now. We'll wait to see if we can find a position. All right, what do we have here? Is there any SMT at the highs? Still no SMT at the highs yet, so we're still just waiting. We'll wait for that SMT to even think about engaging with anything. Can you please get rid of your... Oh, I respond to that one. Adwin, I'm sorry. I'm not going to get rid of it. If a trade comes across, I got to be ready to take it. 2 trades a week paid off, Ash. All right. Thank you for bringing it up. There is one question that I get every single time. Why do you only take 1 trade a day? Why do you only take 1 to 2 trades a week? Well... after years of watching me do that, can you see why now? Can you... the ability to get through an evaluation, then get through a sim-funded account, then get through a live account, do you see why I only take 1 or 2 trades a week? Everybody's always so interested by the fact that I trade so little. Well, guess what? Half of this business is surviving, right? If you're blowing your accounts, the moment you get your credentials to your sim-funded account, maybe that's a reason to only take 1 trade a week or 2 trades a week. Stop being so impulsive. Stop being so... the need for instant gratification is probably the reason why you're instantly trading. There's some kind of need that forces you to do something. Right? You need a certain dollar amount. So you go in and you try to make a trade. Well, that need is going to be the need that ruins your account. So instead of allowing your emotions, your impulsiveness to do these things, set limitations upon yourself. 1 trade a day maximum. 2 trades a week maximum. The further you can survive, the more opportunities you'll be able to take or analyze or recognize instead of blowing up instantaneously and never wanting to come back. So, the results speak for themselves, right? Like, you guys have been watching me do this for a couple years now. The information still remains the same. I've been telling you guys the same thing for multiple years, and now here we are, right? We've gone through the evaluation, we've gone through the sim funded, we've gone through the live account, and we just keep getting promoted because we're surviving. We're surviving every single day, right? We're not looking for some kind of grand slam. We're not doing speed runs. Slow is smooth. Excuse me. Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. So, you can survive another day. Go. You only trade if there's an SMT on the hourly or the M15. I only trade if I can complete my process. The process is at New York Open, I need to understand time, right? So understanding time, let's get over here, right? And we're going to do that process right now. This is the entire process. When I come to the desk in the morning, right? The first thing I'm doing is looking at time. Here's your time. Today, we had an 8:30 a.m. Excuse me. Today, we had an 8:30 a.m. red folder. Trump was speaking. That's an important time, right? Understanding time. We need to know when the red folders are. Additionally, New York Open is always going to be an important time. So we look to execute trades around New York Open. In general, there's a influx of volatility at New York Open because that's when the general public is allowed to start participating in the stock market. So now understanding time, that's when I move over to the daily chart and I create a bias. I create a bias by looking at swing highs, swing lows, and FEGs. Today, we analyze a new week opening gap. Right? It's a form of FEG balance. For that reason, we're looking for lower prices. We were capable of creating a bias, right? That would allow me to then go look at key levels, either a previous day high, a previous session high, hourly bearish FEG, an M15 swing high, any type of key level from a higher time frame that aligns with my bias. But I'm bearish today, so I want to be looking at swing highs or bearish FEGs. At those locations, I want to look for SMT. If all those things happen, then I'll go down to a lower time frame looking for an entry function. That's the entire process. Now, I outline that process to answer your question. If any portion of that process cannot be completed, I'm not taking a trade. Okay, so it's not a matter of just analyzing SMT. Okay, the question was, you only trade if there's an SMT on the hourly or the M15? No. I trade when I'm capable of completing my process. SMT is only a portion of that process. I need to complete the entire checklist. At any point in time, if I cannot complete that checklist, I'm not taking the trade. That makes sense? So it's a matter of completing the process. It's not only SMT. Very good question. Very good question. Forming some support on the M5. Although we're bearish, going to remain patient and wait for a supply setup. Yeah, I'm as you can tell, I'm not in a rush here at all. We're just preparing for New York Open. As of right now, yeah, we got a little bounce here. Right, we found some support right here. We're getting a little bounce. We'll see what happens. I look to participate at New York Open, so I don't even really need to analyze right now. I'm just waiting for the open. I'm preparing my bias. I'm working on analyzing. I'm not in a rush to look for. First time here. Enjoyed your segments on my funded TV. You're a real solid trader, mentally, and a real role model, working on being less emotional and more mechanical. That was a very kind comment, and thanks for joining. I really appreciate the words. I'm just like everybody else. I'm a day trader. I'm looking to show up, work, and learn every single day. So for anybody that wants to work and learn, you'll know where I'll be. I do this relentlessly. It's something that I do every single day. So for people that are trying to learn this business, feel free to join, ask questions, go over information. That repetition is key. So never feel like any type of question is too beginner, too advanced. It doesn't matter. We need to go over that information. As a day trader, conviction is built through repetition. More times we do things, the more muscle memory we're going to build. So always feel free to go over any type of question, any type of information. Let's continue to keep gaining more conviction each day. Being less emotional and more mechanical, you know, that's human nature. We're humans. It's really hard to detach your emotions from the outcome. But I do have to say, you do have to be objective to the information that's shown on the screen. Okay, so objective means without influence, right? Influence of your emotions, your feelings, your thoughts. Subjective would be you have some kind of bias because of an emotion or a feeling. Do your best to detach your emotions from what's happening here on the screen, because the screen doesn't care about your emotion. Price does not care about what you think, what your bias is, or your stop loss, your entry. It does not care. Have to be objective to the information. Don't allow your emotions to ruin your risk management, to ruin your entries, to ruin your analysis. You have to find a way to detach your emotions from the outcome. And in my experience, that comes with time, right? The more you do this, the more you will become desensitized to this experience. So show up and keep working every single day. Could you tell us more about your journey from live to further benefits with prop firms you are in? Would love to hear how you navigate prop firms and stacking accounts. So there's multiple different goals here. So let me see if I can communicate this clearly. There's the goal of compounding, right? So you connect 40 different prop accounts and you trade them all at the same time because you're looking for a compounded payout, right? There's that type of goal, okay? And there's also the benefits of a live account, right? When you pass the evaluation, you get moved into a sim-funded account. When you make enough payouts in the sim-funded account, you then get moved into a live account. In that live account, there are benefits such as a risk management team, such as capital increases, such as mentorship, and they're talking about employing some of these individuals. So at some point in time, there might be, I don't want to say it, but there might be a salary in there at some point in time. Right? If they're going to put people on W-2s, that means they're employing you. Right? So there's that goal, right? The goal of having benefits, the goal of compounding, and then there's the goal of having your own freedom, right? Diversification, having your own cash accounts, being in different markets, being in the crypto market, being in the stock market, being in the real estate market. So you see the different goals here is the goal of having your own personal accounts separate from prop firms so that you can diversify. Diversifying is one goal. Compounding is one goal. Having 40 accounts attached to one trade copier so you can get one large payout. And then the other goal is being in a live account for the benefits that come with a live. So understand reason why these things are being done. I don't think you should be following other people's opinions. You should be following what goal you're trying to achieve. Are you trying to achieve a compounded payout? Are you trying to get benefits for a live account? Are you trying to diversify into personal account? That's your decision. That's not somebody else's opinion. All of them have benefit. There's a reason for why each one of these happen. Whichever one you choose is your choice. So I do have my own personal cash accounts. I have my own real estate. I have my own crypto. I have my own stocks, right? So I did do the diversification. I am going to be copy trading multiple different accounts that are all connected to a copier so that I can get a compounded payout. And then I also worked on the live account. I'm trying to work on all of these goals a little bit at the same time. Okay? So there's a reason for everything, and there's benefits to it. Everything has pros and cons. You just got to figure out what you're working towards. And then once you achieve that goal, then start working on the second goal, right? There's lots of benefits to all of them. But in terms of the journey to actually get there, the journey was evaluation phase. You got to pass the eval. Then you go into the sim funded stage. In the sim funded stage, you got to reach a certain amount of payouts to get to the live account. Then in the live account, you got to survive as long as you can. Right? The entire process, you got to be surviving. So same process as everybody else. I just chose to go slow as smooth and smooth as fast instead of going overboard on my leverage and trying to, rush to a higher dollar amount. Usually that type of impulsiveness leads to tilting and blowing up. I chose the survival mindset, and it's gotten me to the live account. It's gotten me to benefits. Very happy about. Is there a recording of that interview? Yeah, it's on the My Funded Futures YouTube page. So I'll grab the link after this. But yes, there is a recording of that. So we'll grab that after this. Congratulations. I hope you achieve even more. Thank you very much, Hardcore Gamer. I appreciate the kind words. I'm a firm believer that every single one of us here can achieve our goals. It's only a matter of time, discipline, and patience. If you focus on one thing every single day and you wake up working towards that one thing every single day, it's only a matter of time until you get to your consistent action leads to progress. If you can show up working relentlessly every chance you get, I'm certain you can achieve your goals. Absolutely. Doing good, bro. Having a good trading day. Sounds like somebody might be green. Punisher, did we get green on the day? Is that what that means? Not trying to be weird, but I find it awkward when you're looking at the camera talking to us. You don't like when I stare into your soul? Is that what's happening here? All right, fine. Eyes on the charts, people. I'm never again. I'll never look at you guys again. That's it. Only charts all the time. No, I'm just messing around. Maybe you can narrow the watch list. Yeah, we can get rid of the watch list for now. That could definitely happen. I will have to get back to the watch list, though, during New York Open because I'm going to need to get between ES and NQ. Look for divergences. Since we're heading into New York Open, let's also clean up the charts so that we are ready to go for New York Open. We're not getting confused by any lines or boxes or arrows, or let's just clean it up so that we're ready for New York Open. And we'll get back to ES and NQ after that. As per my observation, you mostly trade those days when there is 9:30 manipulation and happens at least once a week and high probability. You know, I focus at New York Open. Yes, that portion of the answer is correct. Manipulation, yes, in my entry function, I'm always looking for a sweep, right? So this would be considered manipulation because we ran below the low. After running below the low, it looks like it's trying to create a change in the state of delivery, right? So every single time that I trade, I'm looking for some form of manipulation. Manipulation is simply just, you know, running below a swing low or a swing high. That's just a portion of my trading model. So yes, you're correct on that as well. In terms of it being high probability day or a low probability day, we don't know the answer to that. Right? We can't tell the future. We can't instantly know that it's going to be high probability or low probability because we don't have the information yet. So I'm not going to sit here and say that every single day that I trade is a high probability day. There's been many times where I've traded on a low probability. Ash kind of looks like Seth MacFarlane. Which one is Seth MacFarlane? Seth? Is this Seth MacFarlane? What was he on? Ted? Okay, I've seen Ted before. Do I look like him? I mean, he's a good looking guy, is he not? 52 though. Whoa. Call me old? 52 is kind of up there, no? All right, Seth, get off my screen. Down goes Seth. Hey, Ash, when NQ or ES takes a daily swing high or swing low, do you wait for an hourly change in the state of delivery before looking for trades in the other direction? No. Plain and simple answer. Sweet and straight to the point. No. Think about this. If you're waiting for an hourly change in the state of delivery, then you're quite literally saying, I'm waiting for the reversal to happen, and then I'll take a trade. If you want to trade the continuation, that's completely okay. That's fine. I'm not saying what's right or wrong. I'm referring to what I do. That change in the state of delivery that you're referring to is going to be the low of the day. Right? It's going to be the reversal, right? For example, right? What's currently happening right now, right? I wouldn't take this change in the state of delivery because we're not below a swing low on a daily chart. Yes, we swept previous day low, so at least we have some kind of key level. But what I'm saying is if I was bullish, this would be the entry right here. Right, here's the change in the state of delivery. That would be the reversal to set the low of the day to move higher. And I've taken reversals, I've taken continuations. But what I'm trying to say is if you wait for this to happen first, you're not going to catch the reversal. You're only going to catch continuations. So, no, I do not always wait for the change in the state of delivery first. If I was bullish, I could have acted upon this before that confirmation occurs. Good morning, Ash. Good morning, Dylan. How are you doing today? Good to see you again. I hope all is well. I hope 2026 is treating you right. Will I be able to pass an eval this way? Can I make it? I'm certain that anything that you put your mind to, you can achieve. So, I'm not exactly sure. You said this way. I don't know what this way means. If you're referring to my type of trading style, I have passed evaluations. So, yes, it is possible to pass evaluations. Hey, Ash, you've been posting a lot of change in the state of delivery. Could you go over that strategy briefly? Yep. So a change in the state of delivery is simply the very first moment in time the trend changes, right? So here's a trend right here, right? This is a downtrend because we're making lower lows and lower highs, right? This is a downtrend right here, moving lower. The very first moment in time this trend changes would be when we make a new high, right? So here's the change in the state of delivery. We've made a new high. This would be the change in the state of delivery here. Look for the retest to that to then go higher. There's quite literally no difference between a change in the state of delivery, a break or block. All of those are forms of change in market structure. Whether you're looking at an inversion, a change in the state of delivery, a break or block, all three of those concepts are forms of the trend changing. So it is used the exact same way. At New York Open, I create a bias. Then, with my bias, I look at key levels that are aligned with that bias during New York Open. At the key level, I'm looking for SMT to confirm that idea. If all of those things happen, then I go down to a lower time frame looking for an entry function. That entry function could be change in the state of delivery, an inversion, a break or block plus fair value gap, any of the above. So it is used the same exact way that a breaker would be. It's slightly identified differently, right? This would be the change in the state of delivery, whereas the breaker would be up here. But either way, both of those things, just like this inversion here, right? All of these things are showing that there's a potential change in trend. So it's just an entry function. What matters is the logic that you're providing to your making. Okay? Logic is what matters. Time, higher time frame order flow, key level, SMT. Those are the things that create the logic. That's the same logic that you'll provide to any type of entry function. Very good question. Ash, how do you trade evals with 50% win rate? The way I treat evals is a little bit different than the way that I trade a funded account. I've spoke about this before. It's the same exact thing as before. Very simply put, if you've proven your abilities, you've gotten payouts, you've stayed in a funded account for X amount of time, you've had some form of consistency. If you have experience, you have payouts, and you've proven to yourself that you can trade, then I would expedite the eval process. Right? We've talked about one shot, one kill many different times, taking advantage of volatility. We've done that before. But what I'm trying to say is that is only for experienced individuals that can accept the risk. Right? Trying to pass an eval during news within one trade. That's what expediting is. That's what one shot, one kill is. We've done that before. That's only for experienced individuals. Right, so that 50% win rate that you're referring to is in the live account, not in the... How much do you risk per trade? Divide your drawdown by 10. That's how much you should be risking per trade. Amazing to see how far you've come. Been in the Discord for 2+ years. Keep grinding. Thank you, Reagan. Reagan or Spencer. Which one's your first name? Reagan, the first name? Thank you very much for the kind comments. Yeah, that Discord. This is gonna make me feel. Jeez. That Discord is about, I think it's like 7 or 8 years old now. Oh man, don't make fun of me for it. We've been showing up to the market for the past 7 years, documenting every single day, every single chance we can get. That's what I solely contribute the current performance to. The ability to show up every single day, no matter the outcome. So thank you for being a part of the community. I'm really hoping that it's provided some value. The amount of giveaways that we've done over the years is, I just can't even count it anymore. I plan on running even more here on this channel. So definitely stick around. Hopefully some of the documentation and experience coming from my end also provides some value. You share all of my charts in there as well. So thank you for being here. And let's continue to keep working and learning. At what time frame would you want your SMT to take place in order for it to make sense for your trade? I look for SMT on the medium time frame, either an hourly or a 15. I've seen some on the daily as well, but I don't look for it on like the 1 minute. So I'm looking for higher time frame SMT. I want to be aligned with higher time frame order flow. Right? If the 15-minute chart is showing SMT, then I would go down to the 1 minute chart and look for an entry. 21 days of A+ setups. In the free Discord, we are running a challenge. It is the A+ setup challenge. For anybody that wants to participate in that, please feel free to take advantage of that accountability program. All right, we got New York Open coming up here. Let's get ready. Also, I'm going to now jump to the front of chat just because I'm going to focus on price now as well. So there's a lot of questions. If I missed your question, please just throw it back in the chat. But time to focus up now. So we got New York Open here. Let's see what happens here at New York Open. Let's see what we get for today. As we let New York open, I need to make a post as well. Few seconds. Quite a lethargic open, I must say. We're getting a tap into a 15-minute FEG. Some bullish SMT at the lows. What happens in here? All right. Not much going on yet. Simply just waiting for the open here. Trying to get a post as well. Definitely going to point out anything that pops up. So if anything happens here, we'll take a look at taking some risk. All right. Let's see what we got here. 15-minute swing highs were swept out, both on ES and NQ. So let's see if you want to see if this change in the state of delivery sends us lower. See what happens with this to start the day. All right, and we got our post up now as well. All right, let me just throw this on there for you guys. Since nothing's happening on the screen, just show this real quick. I have been trying to make more shorts as well. So give me some feedback on those shorts. If those are valuable, let me know. If it's providing any type of help or insight to this trading business, keep me updated. Along with, let me know what type of shorts you guys want to see. If there's any certain kind of information or questions that you have that should be covered, let me know and we'll make that content as well. But trying to get the shorts going on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, providing as much value as I can. So definitely let me know if these help. I just posted a new one here today as well. But for today, see what we're getting so far. Pretty lethargic open, to say the least. Like I said, with the game plan, I'm looking for lower prices. So we're looking for signatures within price to give us those lower prices. SMT at the lows between ES and NQ inside of a bullish impulse. I'm bearish, so I'm not focusing on bullish SMTs. I'm looking for bearish SMT. I'm looking for lower prices here. Starting to get the lower prices there. Notice how, once again, notice how NQ is having an easier time going lower versus ES. Who remembers why? Who remembers why? Remember that SMT on the daily chart? So just being patient to start the day. We're currently in the live account. We have the order template here, so you'll easily be able to see if a trade is taken. For now, just being patient to start the session. Yeah, the bearish SMT on the daily chart, that's a clear sign that NQ is the weaker pair. Makes sense that NQ was able to go lower there at New York Open versus ES, right? ES is still holding up a little bit. If ES were to turn over, then I would say NQ is going to run all the way to 2 or. So, reason why I'm not taking the short here is the SMT. I was quite clear in my statements. We have a key level here in terms of a 15-minute swing high, but notice how both of them have ran above that 15-minute swing high. Right? So going back to our conversation about the game plan, I'm bearish. Yes. Because of the daily chart, I'm bearish for New York Open. Now that we're dealing with New York Open, we're within the right time. Now, during New York Open, we look at key levels that align with that bias, that have SMT that occur at it. If that happens, then I would go to a lower time frame looking for an entry function. All right? So 15-minute swing high, 15-minute swing high. Both of them ran above the 15-minute swing high, so there's no bearish SMT yet. Right? So since I have not confirmed my process yet, that is why I'm saying I'm not taking the short here. Right? It's not a matter of how you feel. It's not a matter of your bias. Price doesn't care about those things. It's a matter of you being able to confirm and identify the information that's shown on the screen. So for the reason that there's no SMT, I don't even care if this short plays out or not. I don't, because I'm most interested in conducting my game plan. That's where my focus is. But we'll still wait and watch. This is a change in the state of delivery after sweeping a 15-minute high. I put the information there for a reason. I'm just telling you my logic to why I didn't grab the short there. Right? Whether it plays out or not, I don't really care. I'm looking at conducting my process. Beautiful move there. It gave the entry for the short. Now it's running. What is this? This is 1.5. Chat, did anybody take the short? If you did take the short, take your profits. Did you take the short here? Yes or no? Type a 1 in chat if you took the short. If you took the short, time to start taking your profits. Did you take the short, chat? Yes or no? Did anybody take that short? If you did, you got to be taking your profits now. W, no, yes, thumbs up, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Pretty 50-50-50. Ooh, too many 50s in there. Pretty 50-50. There we go. Congratulations, chat. I'm very happy for all the individuals that were able to get green here this morning. Very simply put, we were bearish this morning because of the daily chart. At New York Open, we saw NQ and ES ran above a swing high. After running above the swing high, a bearish change in the state of delivery occurred. It gave an entry for the short during New York Open. After giving an entry, it then ran to 1.5. That's where I'm saying don't be greedy, right? This is, that's why I said close it up. 70 points on NQ to start the day is astonishing. 1.5R, 70 points on NQ. Wow. Wow. Was that $1,400 for one contract? 70 points? There you go, chat. There you go. And this is the reason not to be greedy, because now it's going to come back to entry. And you could have taken your 70 points there when I mentioned it. If you didn't, now you're back to entry. And now you're questioning, should I still be in this trade? Right? Like if you're ever in that position where you're up plus 70, just take it. Take the green. So congratulations to all the individuals that did take the green. If you took the green, the next thing that I would say is it's now your responsibility to stay green. It's never acceptable to hand back your profits. If you're going to overtrade, that's going to be the thing that kills your account. Very good job, chat. For anybody that was able to grab the short, very good job. Now that that ran 1.5, I'm no longer looking at this, right? New information is developing. We were able to get on sides for the first position, the short. It played out beautifully. Now, back to the drawing board. Very good job, chat. Additionally, for any of the individuals that did not take the short, there's no emotion to have there, right? If you're sitting there kicking yourself saying, oh, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Well, you didn't. There is no coulda, woulda, shoulda. You either did or you did not. If you did not, there's no emotion to have. It's time to remain focused and remain objective to price and just simply continue to keep analyzing, right? The day just started. Okay, so be in control of your thoughts. Be in control of your emotion. What a phenomenal first day back, chat. W on the short. W on the short. I'm very happy for the individuals that were able to capture the W. Hey, Ash, I've noticed that you're happy to close profits a little early on a change in the state of delivery, but stick to 2R for the unicorn entries. Any reason for this? No, I'm not trying to purposely play devil's advocate here, but for the individuals that are in my Discord, they would know this. What I normally tell everybody is anytime you're anywhere near your profit level, you should take it, right? So if you're aiming for 1-to-1 and you're at a 0.9R or you're at a 0.8R, in my opinion, you're close enough to your objective, you should just take it. Same thing goes for 2R. If your trading plan has a 1-to-2 risk to reward, if you're at 1.5, 1.6, 1.7, 1.8, you got to take your money. You got to take your money. So no, what I normally tell people is anytime you're near the objective being completed, close it up and be done. And that's what happened. Yeah, exactly. Sorry for my French, but I'm going to say it too. Don't be a dick for a tick. Right? It's a classic saying. That's what everybody says. I'm not referring to your comment. That's just like a normal trading saying. Anytime you're close to your take profit, take your profit. Right? So let's just take a look at this again. I'm not taking this trade. I'm referring to the conversation we're having here. Right? So we were at 1.6. Yeah, that's good. 70 points on NQ. Take it. Absolutely take it. Welcome back. Welcome back to you, mister. Good to see you again. Hope all is well. Very excited to rush 2026. All right, so we had the opening short there at New York Open. Ever since then, we don't have information stating it's time to get short, right? Maybe there's some SMT here, right? Take a look at this. ES ran above the initial swing high. NQ is not running above the initial swing high. So let's see if a change in the state of delivery occurs here or not. We're just simply waiting to see if any other short opportunity presents itself. First one was gorgeous. Ever since the first one, we moved back to the drawing board and we're currently waiting. That is quite a beautiful unicorn there as well. All right, swing low, swing high, FEG. So this is nice looking as well. Too bad I'm not bullish. All right, FEG's right in here. It's just unfortunate that I am not bullish. So I will not be looking at that. That trade is a good example of being wrong, but making money. Amazing job bringing that up. I 100% agree with that. Being right doesn't mean you make money. Being wrong doesn't mean you lose money. Risk management is going to be the thing that decides that. You do not need to be right to make money, right? So for the individuals that took the short that I pointed out, they could have been right and captured 70 points here on the short, even though we're heading higher on the session. So having a bearish bias, right? It presented a short, and the short played out for 70 points, yet we're heading higher. See what I'm saying here? Very good job bringing that up. I 100% agree with you. And this is why falling in love with the process is more important. Right? We're heading higher, yet you could have captured a beautiful trade here this morning. Would you have taken the trade if there was SMT? Yes. That was the entire logic to why I did not. If there was SMT, I would have risked on it. Since there was not, I did not. Right? My game plan is time, bias, T-level with SMT, then entry function. Anytime there is a portion of that process that is not on the screen, I do nothing. I take a risk when my confirmations have been completed. Hey, brother, I have a 50K funded where only 600 USD drawdown is left. What kind of risk management should I use? It doesn't matter what the scenario is. My process remains the same. So I always divide my drawdown by 10. That's the amount of money that I'm willing to risk on one given trade. Doesn't matter where the account's at. The process remains the same. What is a FEG? This is what an FEG is right here. Here is a bullish one. See this gap right here? So I'm looking at all three of these candles. 1, 2, 3. Okay? See how the first candle does not overlap the third candle? That area in which it does not overlap is the FEG. That's what an FEG is. Right, so same exact thing here for a bearish one. Right, here's a bearish FEG. Candle number 1, candle number 2, candle number 3. Candle number 1 and candle number 3 do not overlap, so that area is the bearish FEG. Can you show me the breaker for the long? Yep, so it's right here. Swing low, swing high, new low, new high. So the bullish breaker would be right here. Bullish breaker would be right there. We close above it right here. So you have 2 entries right here for the long. Entry 1, entry 2, and now we're moving. That would be the breaker there for the long. I need advice. How can I be calm and not rush? Not rushing is a matter of having a process in place. If you have a process, then it's a matter of having discipline to carry out that process. If you have a process, it is something that will help you not rush, right? If you have a checklist on your desk, you haven't checked off the things you need to take a trade, then it's the logical decision to just wait. So having a process that is clearly defined is something that can help you not rush. Very good question. Thank you, Ash. Anytime. Always feel free to ask any questions. It doesn't matter what type of question it is. I'm gladly willing to help any chance I can. So always feel free to ask any question. So chat, no SMT at the highs, right? NQ also ran above the high. Well, guess what that means for me? I still haven't gotten my confirmations. So I'm going to keep waiting. Why is your bias bullish for the day? I'm bearish. I'm not bullish. I was responding to one of the community members. They asked about the bullish breaker, so I pointed to it. I was just answering a question. My current bias is bullish. Now I'm messing up. My current bias is bearish. I was just answering one of the community members' questions. All right, chat. I have another 5 minutes in here. We were able to analyze a beautiful short to start New York Open. 70 points on the short for the individuals that took it. Ever since then, we've just been waiting because we're waiting for SMT to tip its hand. Other than that, I have no reason to rush here. Right? I talked about survival earlier in the stream. This is the actual thing that has gotten me to the live account and into the path beyond live. Is the ability to wait. So I'm going to wait until my process is clear as day. I can't miss it because it's so clear that I can't unsee it. I'll wait for that. If that never happens, I'm fine with being wrong. I was bearish. I told you that I'm bearish, and I'm still bearish. If we never get a bearish setup today, well, guess what? Taking no risk and being wrong is a great outcome because you don't lose money. So once again, it's not a matter of being right or wrong. It's a matter of making money or losing money. Right now, we have not made money or lost money because we're simply waiting for our confirmations. You talk like you're AI. Yeah, that's a common joke that goes around. Work on my aneurysms or something. You'll hop off the charts at 11. So I'm moving over to the My Funded Futures live stream. I'm going to wrap up this live stream in another 4 minutes because at 10:30 a.m., that's when I'm going to move over to the My Funded TV live stream. So I will also be live streaming from 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And I would love for you all to come join me over there. We can continue the conversation over there. You guys are going to be the insiders. You're going to already know my information, my bias, and what I'm looking at for the day. So when I point to something, you guys are probably going to understand exactly what I'm looking for. But yeah, I would love for you guys to follow me over there. That way we can continue the conversation. I will stick around for another 2 minutes, but I do want to make sure that I get a little snack in me. That way I'm nice and cool and calm and collected for the My Fun. Well, people that took that long, who was it? Emily? Emily, right? Let me just double check. Yep, Emily. W. Absolute W there. So Emily, did you grab that long? And if you did, start taking profits, right? Like, where are we at here? Take a look. You're above 1-to-1 now. Yep. Good time to either put your stop at 1-to-1 to confirm the fact that no matter what, you're only getting a winning trade today, right? Trail your stop all the way up to here, confirming the fact that no matter what, you're gonna get a W today, with giving yourself the ability to maybe reach for 2R. But amazing job, Emily. Good job pointing out the breaker and then multiple long entries. And now you're looking at, what is this? This is plus 100 points. Wow. Plus 100 points on one contract of NQ. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. My God. 11 minutes for $2,000. Insane. Amazing job, Emily. Alrighty, chat. So, sorry if I missed your question. I do need a couple minutes to myself so I can grab a snack. That way I'm properly prepared for the next live stream. But gonna go ahead and wrap up this live stream. What a phenomenal way. This was a great way to get back to my own channel. We had a lot of information that happened this morning. I'm going to be live streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. here on the channel moving forward. At 10 a.m., I'm going to close up the stream, and that's when at 10:30, I'm going to move over to the My Fund of Futures live stream. So, moving forward for 2026, let's focus up. Let's relentlessly work and learn every single chance we get. You know where to find me. So if you want to go over information, go over questions, you want to see any of my trades, you want to be a part of the community, get some repetition, build conviction by showing up, learning the model, and conducting the model every single day, you know where to find me. I'll be showing up just like I have for the past 7 years. So, thank you, thank you, thank you. I greatly appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for being here today. I'm going to go ahead and take about a 30-minute break and then move over to the My Fund of Futures live stream. I would love to see you all there so we can finish the conversation over there. But thank you for your time today. So excited to be back here on YouTube for 2026. We are going to crush 20. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you over on the other live stream at 10:30. Have a nice day, everyone.